Well, plus a lot of businesses have a different sales process than we do, where they think every lead is precious, and they just want to get a warm body to call that phone so they can get them locked into their web of lies and just try to like break them down until they buy something.
Very true. If you are thinking about starting your own service business, then one of the hardest things you're going to have to conquer is sales. Because almost anything you want to do in life or business can be solved if you have enough money. So you want to make sure you get some of that. Welcome back to the Security Bros. I'm Ken, this is James. Look, sales is maybe the hardest thing to get right in business. And almost every service business tries this one thing that never works. And that thing is paying like 20% to anybody that will send you a lead that ends up buying. So in other words, that lead has to turn into a sale for the person referring it to get their money. It could be 10%, could be 20%. For the sake of this video, let's say 20%. They send you the lead, you stuff an extra 20% in the job, so this way you don't lose any of the margin you needed. And if the customer buys, then great, you got a new customer without any cost to acquire them. And if they don't buy, well, nothing lost. The main reason companies do this is because they think there's no cost to acquire a customer. It's called CAC, C-A-C. Normally, you have to advertise and market to get customers, and that has a certain cost associated with it. Maybe it's $100 a customer, maybe it's $500 or $1,000 a customer if it's like a real big ticket item. But having zero cost to acquire a customer seems like a really great idea. So why not offer 20% to anybody that will send a lead? Here's the thing, it doesn't work. And why doesn't it work? The people who are told, like if you tell me, Ken, if you send us a lead and they buy, we'll pay you 20%. Well, here's the problem. I could send them a lead and then I might make nothing. And the thing is, how many people do I really know that need new siding and windows on their house? Probably not a lot. So in order for me to potentially make any money, I'm going to have to go and find leads myself. And guess what? That sounds like work. Now I feel like I'm a sales guy and it's like a whole job and I'm only getting paid if they buy. In our business, we don't do this whole we'll pay you 20% thing. Yeah. We won't pay anybody anything. That keeps people from trying to spam us with leads. If someone happens to know somebody that's a good fit for my company and they want to refer them, great. But I'm not asking people to go and push people our way in return for a check. For one, I think from a branding perspective, it's not great. And number two, I don't think that people are motivated by money in the way that a lot of companies think they are. Anyone that has an app like an iPhone, have any Apple product, those people are basically in a cult. They are all salespeople for Apple. Every person I've ever met that ever tried Apple once, they got sucked into this cult and now they're always trying to shove Apple in my face. Those people are...
Because you haven't used my new Apple iPhone.
Right. But I have to say I'm very impressed with Apple that they have so many fans. They're not being paid for that. And I think that's key because we, in our business, we get, most of it comes from word of mouth. Most of it comes from referral, but they aren't paid for it. It's usually a customer that happens to know another similar customer. And so customer A refers customer B to our company. And here's the cool thing. Whenever I find out that this customer has been referred from another customer, I make sure that we give them the best white glove support that we can so that customer A looks really cool for having referred them to us, meaning customer B owes customer A for having referred them to such a great vendor that took such great care of them. And what does that do? That means that customer A is actually more likely to send us more clients in the future. I think that turns out to be far more powerful than saying, hey, I'll cut you a check. If you've watched our other videos, you know that one of the big goals that we have is for people to come onto our website and actually be able to buy the product on our website just like they would buy it on Amazon. And then they can track their order just like they can track it on Amazon. They can track it from the time they buy it all the way through installation. And they can make all their payments on it. And so we're rolling out updates as we go and we're trying to get closer and closer to doing that. I don't know of any other commercial security company that has even tried to do this. And one reason that they haven't even ever thought to do it is because their business is so complicated to run and they have the way they sell, they might sell, if they think that one client is doesn't have a lot of money, they might try to charge them a little less so they can make the sale. And if there's another client they know that has lots of money and is fine paying an extra $2,000, they'll sneak in an extra couple $1,000s so they can like make the difference up there. They lose money on this install and then they make money on this install. Yeah. They're kind of all over the place. It's way too messy. Anything that creates this kind of roller coaster in our business, I try to get that out. And one thing that absolutely creates the roller coaster is paying people an extra 20% on the job, like because I'm gonna have to make the job cost more money so that that person can get their 20%. I don't like that, and I don't like stuff that adds complications in the business. And as I mentioned, I don't wanna get spam leads. I wanna get very specific leads. Yep. So I want people referring people to us because it's a good fit, not because they plan to make some money.
You're gonna get more legitimate leads that way as well. And like you said, it's gonna lead to a much smoother business than this roller coaster.
Well, and you think about the people for us that refer most business to us. They're fans of what we're building. They like what we're building. They like the way we're doing it. They don't need like financial incentive. And most of them have money. Yeah. They would rather do it as like a favor. Like the favor is worth more than the money.
Years ago, I believe we tried this, is we, offered some incentive. I may have done it without permission. I don't remember all the details. We're not gonna point fingers. That's all in the past. But it didn't work, is the moral of the story. It didn't increase sales. I don't know if it decreased sales. Maybe, but it didn't increase.
What happened was, when James, this was years ago, when James first came on board, I wasn't much into social media. I did almost nothing with social media, but James had his Instagram account and he posted all these Jeep pictures and he seemed like he liked social media. So I said, well, we probably should have social media, I guess. So do you want to run the account? He was like, sure. And so I thought he was just going to take pictures of work that we were doing, jobs, and just kind of post the pictures online. Like, hey, look, we're installing a camera over here today. But then one day I logged in and he was putting up advertisements like
I'm running deals.
Yeah, he was like, purchase today for 50% off. And I was like, wait, what the heck?
I don't think I did 50% off.
And I know one of the ones you posted was like, if you refer like business to us, we'll pay 20% of the entire job. And I was like, whoa, we don't even make 20% profit margin on the entire job.
Yeah, it didn't make us any sales. We didn't do those anymore. But we've tried it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is everybody tries it, including us apparently, on accident. We don't do it that way. And look, if you have no plans of doing it that way, why don't you give this video a thumbs up so that we know. But then also, if you do plan to do it that way, you can still give it a thumbs up just so we know, and share it so your friends know.
Bye.